What is the worst thing that has happened on your birthday? Fell off my brand new tricycle and broke my arm on my 4th birthday. My mum didn't believe my arm was broken, so didn't go to the hospital till 2 days later. Also, when I was about 12, I had my party at a park. This was before the days of mobile phones, and my friends who were coming couldn't find us. They gave up and all went to McDonald's together, while I sat and ate my cake with my mum. Worst thing was the following Monday when they talked about how much fun they had without me. I had asked for a cookie cake from MRS Fields cause they're awesome. My stepmom said she would bake one and it would be even better. She somehow mixed up sugar with salt while making it. What came out of that oven was an effing war crime. My mom is a gifter, despite being extremely picky about the gifts she receives. She is not poor. This year for my birthday, I received a box with wrapped gifts. Opened one, then realized it was a carefully selected gift I had given her 2 years ago at Christmas. When she called, she asked how I liked my gifts, which included a 15-year-old candle from her closet, and stationery from her own stock of sidewalk sale finds. I didn't have much to say. She texted later that she could tell I didn't like my presents, but that she put a lot of work into shopping for and wrapping them. I wrote back and said my feelings were hurt that she re-gifted me something I gave her. She informed me that she sure wasn't going to send presents anymore. I got out of bed, shouted it's my birthday, slipped and fell down the stairs, and ended up in hospital with a concussion. I was going through chemo on my 13th birthday and spiked a fever and had to be hospitalized. My birthday is the 24th of December. My sister told me I ruined Christmas. I was so ready to just give up and die that night. My parents completely forgot that it was my birthday. I was excited all day to get a present or a card or anything, but the entire day went by and no one remembered aside from one random friend at school. It was really depressing. My dad ended up remembering a day or so later because he checked Facebook and saw the notification. I shared my 11th birthday with a pal from down the road and his parents were giving him a party, so he invited me, along with some of our friends, to share. In their front garden, Surrey, UK, they had a sunken lawn which doubled as a tennis court or a playing field for us youngsters. But this year there was a huge thunderstorm that emptied massive quantities of rain on us and drove us all indoors. The party was somewhat dampened until the storm ended and we found that there was easily a foot or more of rainwater in the sunken lawn. We quickly scampered out to splash and play in the water. It was brilliant. In the middle of all this there was suddenly a dull screech and thump on the road outside, and it didn't take long for us to find out that my pal's father had crossed the road to nip to a nearby shop, and on his return he'd been hit by a van. Sadly he died on impact, never to be forgotten even though that's now almost 63 years ago. My friends and family planned a surprise party and appointed my closest work friend to basically babysit me till they executed it and guide me to the party after work. As part of the surprise, they all started ignoring me 2 days before my birthday. I didn't get a single call on the day of my birthday from friends or family and was pretty upset. The friend who was supposed to guide me to my surprise party basically forgot he got lost in work and I took off before he realized what had happened. Meanwhile everyone I know was back at my place waiting for me to show up. I thought I'll just treat myself, seeing that nobody cared about my birthday. I stopped by at my local music store to buy a guitar I had my eyes on for quite some time. Sadly they sold the last piece just that morning. Extremely frustrated, I hopped back on my motorcycle to head back home. I then met with an accident on my way back home, wrecked my bike, broke 3 ribs in the process and was bedridden for a couple of weeks. I had gotten in the car to go to our family pond to celebrate my becoming of a teenager. As we drive, my mother informed me that none of the friends I invited were going to attend the celebration. My best friend and best co-worker and I made big plans for a taco lunch after my birthday because my family had plans to take me out on my birthday. When a call came through on her phone on my big day, I assumed she was calling to wish me a happy birthday. Nope. It was her family calling me to tell me she had passed away in her sleep earlier that morning. Everything just stopped in that moment. So much sadness still, and this was nearly 3 years ago. Nobody came. I threw myself a birthday party. Invited all my friends and family. Bought snacks. Cleaned my whole place. Put on some tunes. Nobody came. Not even my mom. That's how you know you're a loser, when your own mom doesn't show up to your party. Getting a letter off my biological dad. One of the lines read, "I do not wish to see or speak to you again. My birthday is also Christmas Day. I was 12. Good festive period that was." Was at Macca's and played Truth or Dare with my 8-year-old friends. They dared me to go and stand outside, didn't specify for how long. Me assuming someone would come surprise me with a birthday present, I waited out there for a good 30 minutes. No one ever came. I went back inside and everyone other than my parents left. My parents thought I was saying goodbye to everyone. Still mad. My 10th birthday. I was sleeping with my mum and she spent the night of my birthday telling me what a disappointment I was and how I needed to grow up, while I lay there with tears silently running down my face while she berated me. She was angry that I hadn't changed out of my school uniform because I had wanted to watch Battlestar Galactica, and I was still wearing it when a family came over to give me my present. When my mum was angry she could be cruel and unkind, she was angry a lot. Oh yeah. That was the birthday my dad borrowed my birthday money for gambling. As a teenager, a full case of food poisoning, woke up that morning and was terribly ill all day without any break. Family still went out for dinner without me and enjoyed it while I couldn't even keep water down. Took a good week to feel well again. On my 11th birthday everything started off great. My mom, brother, me and abusive a-hole stepdad went out to the mall to get me some gifts, eat an awesome meal, and get me a cake. The one gift I remember was going into a store like Build-A-Bear and making myself a stuffed cat, and I put her in a cute orange witch outfit. It was close to October and cats. I loved this gift, we all went home so happy. Then out of nowhere, abusive a-hole starts a huge fight with my mom. We had just walked in the door and it was like he traded places with another person. At one point he starts beating my mom and I run into the garage and hide behind the car. Abusive a-hole tries to act nice and lure me out. But I was terrified of him, so me holding tightly to my new friend, I screamed at him to get away from me and ran to a different hiding spot. A-hole starts yelling at my mom. Because I'm scared of him like that's her fault. After a bit more screaming my mom comes into the garage and tells me it's okay to come out. I do, and I remember the rest of the day a-hole was pouting like a child, while my mom did her best to try and restore my birthday. Years later, after talking to my mom about everything that happened with abusive a-hole, she told me how he would be jealous if my mom gave my brother and I attention. Like he thought we were stealing her from him. He'd always try to pass blame on us and try to convince my mom we were terrible kids. My brother was 3 and I was 11. Of course we needed attention and we wanted time with our mother. I love my mom so much and I thank God she made it out of that relationship alive. I took cookies to school because it was my birthday. It was very exciting because the kindergarten class had a special routine for birthday celebrations. But a girl in my class told the teacher I was lying and it really was her birthday. The teacher punished me by making me sit in the corner. When my mother came to pick me up, she asked why I was sitting in the corner and the teacher told her I was being punished for lying. My mother told her I was telling the truth, and we went home. Also on my 20th birthday the ceiling collapsed while I was in the shower. That was not fun. My dad left on my 9th birthday. It was right after I blew the candles out on my ice cream cake. My mom retreated to her room the rest of the night. My sisters left and drove around, I guess. I never did find out and I sat on the kitchen floor and cried. When my oldest sister got home, she hugged me and put the cake in the freezer. It was completely melted, but the next day I opened the freezer and there was a bigger, brand new ice cream cake replacing the melted one. Her boyfriend bought it and brought it over after I went to bed that night after finding out what my dad did. I was turning 22. My mom sliced a watermelon and stuck a candle in it instead of getting a cake. I've always hated watermelon.